But the Tesla Theater is named for scientist and innovator Nikola Tesla, who was a bit bigger than this in real life, but he's kind of fuzzy, so I like to keep him up there. Tesla was born when life was practically in black and white, back in the 1850s in what is now Croatia. But towards the end of the 19th century, towards the 1890s, he moved from Eastern Europe all the way to New York. Now, he's a scientist, he's an inventor, he's a very creative fellow. So once he gets to New York, he wants to keep inventing and creating. And he starts working with fellow scientist Thomas Edison. Does that name ring a bell? Yeah, but if you've ever worked in a group project at school or at work, you know that sometimes if you've got two really smart people working on the same project, you don't always see eye to eye, and that's what happened with Edison and Tesla. They both had a lot of really cool ideas, but they didn't agree on how to utilize some things, including electricity. So that brings us to our Tesla coil up here, that he probably just called it a coil. And let's take a look at this one. It's a special type of coil. It's bipolar, and right in the middle there is a big red-orange cylinder. It's kind of hard to miss. Wrapped tightly around that cylinder is about a mile length worth of copper wire. Now copper is really cool because it's conductive, so electricity can flow through it, and pennies are made of copper. But on either end of that cylinder, it kind of looks like Captain America's shield. And just like the shield protects Captain America or insulates him from threat, those act as insulators. They keep that electrical flow in one place so we don't get zapped. On either end of those insulators, it kind of looks like the Seattle Space Needle. And then there are two rods pointing towards each other. Do you guys see what's between those two? What's between it? Air! Excellent, excellent. It's kind of a sneaky question, right? Because there's words in the background, but between those two rods, there's just a bunch of air or gas molecules. So for our first demonstration, in just a moment, I'm going to dim the lights and we're going to pump some electricity through our Tesla coil. The electricity is going to go back and forth between those two rods. It's going to alternate. It's going to be alternating current or AC, and it's going to start to warm up that gas. When air gets really, really hot, it changes from being an awesome gas to being awesome plasma. So let's check it out. I'm going to put on my earmuffs so we can all look cool together. And I'm going to dim the lights so we can see what we're doing. And again, for this first demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump some electricity through our Tesla coil. We're going to see that air warm up or ionize and change. So here we go. That wasn't too bad. Could you guys still hear it through your earmuffs okay? Yeah, it kind of sounded like a bunch of angry bees all buzzing together. All right, so since we've got the lights off, I'll do another demonstration. I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to change the rate or the frequency that the electricity is released. So it's kind of like if you were to go home and turn your light switch on and off really, really fast, which you probably shouldn't do. But you'd just be releasing the electrical rate at a different current frequency. So that's what I'm going to do, but with a really big light switch. Alright, so that sounded a little bit different. I'm just going to turn that back on real quick. So it sounded a little bit different the second time, right? I think it kind of sounds like kind of a musical scale, right? Does anyone play an instrument? You know, when you're learning a musical scale, you go up, 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 and then down, down, down. And it kind of acts that way because by changing the frequency, we're changing the length of the sound waves. So it sounds a bit more melodic, like those angry bees are suddenly becoming more musical. Now, this creates an alternating current, right? And that's where Edison and Tesla disagreed. Edison was a proponent or believer in something called direct current, or DC, and Tesla believed in something called AC, or that alternating current. In fact, his vision as an inventor, as a scientist, was to be able to share electricity with everyone for free, which I think sounds pretty cool, especially after my first summer in Arkansas. It's kind of hot here. But you may have noticed it's a little loud, yeah? And so that's one of the reasons this plan didn't quite work out. Tesla's vision was to have one of these coils in the middle of every city. So Conway, Little Rock, probably a couple for Chicago. But it's a little loud, it's not very energy efficient, and exposed plasma is not the safest thing. So it didn't really work out, but what's really neat about this Tesla coil is you notice how it sounded a bit melodic? I've got a computer up here that's going to be able to release that electrical current and change the frequency and make some pretty cool music. Do you guys want to check it out? Yeah, all right. Cool, cool, cool. So let's see what we got up here. All right, let's see if this works. Earmuffs back on, dimming the lights. Now this song is a little spooky, but I think you guys will be able to handle it. Here we go. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Did anyone recognize that song by chance? It's used a lot in video games now, I guess, and around Halloween, but it's in the Hall of the Mountain King, which is really cool. Let's see, did anyone notice, oh yeah, wiggle, wiggle. Did anyone notice the sign behind me glowing ominously? All right, so I'm gonna play one more song and then you're free to go. And I'm gonna take down our danger, warning, caution rope there so we can see the sign a little bit better. So during the next song, I want you guys to kind of observe that sign and see what it's doing. Yeah, let's do that. next and the next one. Okay, this song is slightly more seasonally appropriate, but a little belated. All right, here we go. To Tchaikovsky, excellent. So he probably never imagined it would sound quite like that. Now, did you guys notice the sign glowing behind me? All right, so check it out. It's not plugged in, which is kind of weird, right? Normally these have to be plugged in. It's a neon sign, so we've got glass tubes, and inside is gas, like neon, I guess, and other stuff. And it glowed when we had that ionization or that warming up of that energy going back and forth in our Tesla coil, and that's what Tesla wanted. He envisioned light bulbs in homes glowing with a coil, changing that energy in a community, which is pretty cool. Now, who thinks it'd be kind of neat to have a coil like this at home? Yeah, it's the littlest hands that usually go up first, but excellent. So in a way, hear me out, you do. So Nikola Tesla, throughout his lifetime, was awarded hundreds of patents for creating new inventions or putting his own creative twists on existing inventions. And one patent that he was awarded was for the radio, which utilizes alternating current, AC technology, but also, depending on the station, makes pretty good music. So if you have a radio at home, you kind of have a tiny Tesla coil. Very cool. You guys excited? Yes. Was it loud enough? No. Oh, all right, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. All right, well, friends, that's all I got for you. If you do me a favor, just leave your science earmuffs on your benches so I can sanitize them. And let me put up the barrier real quick, and I'll open the doors, okay?